The significance of the Google Pixel 4a should not be overlooked. This device is probably the best smartphone that Google has ever made, and I think it has to be. Since Apple has won my family over in the device choice arena and the way that we communicate with each other, the introduction of the Pixel 4a brought about a whole new level of considerations I have to make for recommendations that I make to other people. We're getting into a smartphone market where prices are now so low. For $350, you can get one of the most simplistic and refreshing Android experiences available in the Pixel 4a. To be absolutely fair though, the comparable storage variant on the iPhone SE is $100 more because the Google Pixel 4a comes standard with 128 gigabytes on board. To get that on the iPhone SE, it'll cost you an additional $50, which puts that at a $450 introductory price. So the Pixel 4a wins me over and continues to impress me with their pricing and feature set that they give you for that pricing. Let's start where it matters on the Pixel 4a, the camera. The single 12.2 megapixel f1.7 rear-facing camera features a pretty powerful and accurate autofocus dual pixel phase detection system. The single sensor has optical and electronic image stabilization with 77 degrees field of view. The rear camera on the 4a is phenomenal at its least. It is absolutely amazing what Google is doing on the software side of things with image processing on the back end of your images. They've done so much with this single sensor that I don't even really miss a telephoto lens, which I have with the Pixel XL. I would like to have that, but it's just not available. You can do so much with that thing that you can digitally zoom in on images with the 4a. The rear shooter on the Pixel 4a leaves a lot to be desired and gives me a feeling of excitement when I think of new devices to come in the future to the Pixel platform and what it is they do with their image processing. Let me explain that a bit. When you look at the 4a for what it is, it only has one rear sensor that is almost identical to last year's Pixel 3a. Yet you're getting superb image quality from it. I can't help but imagine, what if you had really awesome hardware paired with this really awesome image processing capability? I can't even imagine what the pictures would look like on a Pixel with that horsepower to drive some of their deeper image processing. In my world of content creation, I could see the Pixel completely replacing the need for a dedicated DSLR or mirrorless camera for my social post. I mean, I kind of already do that now, but when I need a high quality image, I turn to my Sony mirrorless camera and use their Image Edge mobile app to process my pictures and prepare them for social sharing. I just can't imagine what the Pixel 5 is going to offer in the image quality department, and I am really excited for that to come to market. It is just amazing to me the images that you can capture on the Pixel 4a. Night sight is nothing short of magic occurring right before my eyes. It's just, if you set this thing up on a tripod, you can capture some of the most mesmerizing photos. It's like magic right in front of your face. The 4a goes into this light capture mode, and it can go up to 4 minutes of grabbing all the light it can from your scene. You can be in a pitch black environment and it'll grab light and process it and apply that information to your photo and image and produce a really nice looking photo. Like, it's just amazing. Another thing with having like faster hardware, imagine if they could do that processing of night sight and astrophotography mode in less than a minute instead of 4 minutes. You would get a lot more people doing that. Or if you could do it handheld, I mean, that'd be amazing. I absolutely love night sight on the Pixel. It just gives your phone the powers it needs to capture the more important things in your life, because we're all familiar with those photos that we missed or wished we could have captured in low light conditions, because life is just that. Life isn't a well-lit scene, and the Pixel 4a gives you the ability to take really great photos in pretty much any environment, and that's what really matters to me. Being able to capture, you go to a bar or something with some friends, it's not going to be freaking studio lighting like this and have perfect exposure and stuff like that. The Pixel 4a allows you to capture images in pretty much any environment and have usable, beautiful photos for that. The front-facing camera is an 8 megapixel f2 sensor that only offers fixed focus, so you don't get any of that dual pixel phase detection. It does have 84 degrees of viewable area, which is a good addition for capturing those group selfies. And for those of you that don't have long arms or friends with long arms, honestly, the front camera is a pretty good photography camera as well. And for the price of this device, you can't really complain. Now, you're going to be limited in the video capture realm with the Pixel 4a because it doesn't do that great at capturing video at all. You're limited in your settings. The rear camera offers 4K at 30 frames per second. That's it. 1080p at 30, 60, and 120 frames per second, and 720p at 30, 60, and 240 frames per second only. Can't make adjustments to it. There is no option to shoot 24 frames per second in any resolution, which is weird to me as the Pixel line has always struck me as a device that is pointed at creatives. I would think creatives would want 24 frames per second to meet a more cinematic need, but the Pixel just doesn't offer that, and that's just weird. That's weird to me. Let's just say if you rely on video, the Pixel lineup is not going to get you what you need from your smartphone. While we're on this topic, let's hop over to some sample video of the cameras now, and I'll also leave a link down below in the description for you to look at full resolution pictures that I produced on this thing. And let's just say if you go over there, you're gonna be like, whoa, because all the astrophotography photos that I shot, pitch black, no light. It did take 4 minutes and some change to make those photos, but I'll wait and I'll use a little tripod. With that said, let's hop over to some video footage of the rear facing camera and the front facing camera, and then we'll continue this review. Here's a sample of the rear facing camera in 4K. I'm actually in the middle of this river. This is where I would say I would very much appreciate some sort of water resistance in the Pixel 4a, and that's just something that's not available in this device. Because if I accidentally dropped it, I mean, it would be lost right now. So let's hope that I can make it to my editing timeline with this footage with the phone safe in hand still. It does some really good, nice crisp footage in 30p. There's no other option for frame rates. This is 4K. So that's what you're gonna get with the Pixel 4a, and this is what you can expect from it. I think this is a very beautiful scenery that I was hoping to share with you, and I think the microphones are really good on the Pixel 4a as well. I really like how this thing transitions from darker areas to lighter areas. Very smooth transitions. Has some really nice dynamic range for a smartphone that's under 350 bucks. $1 under it, actually. So let me know what you think of the rear facing camera and the footage, and let me know if you appreciate me out here in the middle of a river in northern Utah capturing some really nice footage. It's resolving all of this data and all of this detail really well, and I think it's doing a really nice job. Really like the Pixel 4a's camera. Not the best video camera, but for pictures, this thing is boss, and it will get you through the day and onto social media. Definitely do the job for that, for video as well. Let me know what you think with a comment down below. Here's a sample of the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4a. I think it does a pretty good job for what you get and what you pay for this phone. The dynamic range is really well adjusted. You can see that my face is like directly into the sun, and then the sky is being exposed to correctly. The dynamic range is pretty decent for a smartphone. A lot of smartphones would struggle in an environment like this, but the AI is at work here. I mean, the trees are helping, but you can see the lens flare from the sun. And I mean, just generally, I think it's overall a good option for sharing on social media or reporting to social media, because it's going to get destroyed on your Twitter timeline and your Instagram feed anyway because of, compression and all that type of stuff. But I thought I'd take advantage of this beautiful scenery. You can see that it adjusts for dynamic range really well. Like, the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4a is legit, considering the price that is. Let's walk through the woods a little bit, see how it adjusts for like shadowy environments. You can see how it's holding exposure on my face really well. Nothing's crushed. Everything is just really well put together. As far as stabilization goes, I mean, it does a pretty good job as well. Like, I'm walking just with the Pixel 4a in my hand in the woods. It's not very, the terrain here is not very smooth. But look at the exposure. Like, everything is evenly exposed. Dynamic range is really well put together. I wish it was 4K, but I guess you get what you get with the $350 phone that is. Leave me a comment down below what you think of this video sample of the front-facing camera on the Pixel 4a. The Pixel 4a feels amazing in my hand. It quite literally is the perfect size device for me, and I love this form factor. The screen is a beautiful 5.8-inch Full HD Plus OLED 2340 by 1080 display that offers a respectable 443 ppi. The hole punch for the front-facing camera is a really nice touch, if I do say so myself, because it is discreetly placed. It supports HDR and is capable of playing back full 24-bit depth color, which means you're going to get around 16 million total colors. It is a 60 Hertz refresh rate display as well. That may be a turnoff to some, because I know there are options out there around this price point that give 90 Hertz. The physical body of the 4a is a nice choice by Google. They took the plastic design and just embraced it. It's very reminiscent of the Nexus 5. I think Google did a great job and just took the materials that they had available to them and made some really nice choices in doing what they can with it. And they produced a really nice, well-made phone for the price. So I've been spewing on about how great this thing is. What is wrong with it? Or better yet, what's missing? Well, I will say I really miss face unlock like that of the Pixel 4 XL. It is kind of a pain to get used to unlocking my device with a rear fingerprint sensor again. You know, I'm used to it now, but I still find myself holding it up to my face, waiting for something, and then I'm like, oh crap, I got to touch the fingerprint sensor. Next is no wireless charging. I live my life in the wireless charging world, and this not having wireless charging is a big pain in my butt. I wish they would have just included it in the 4a, but understand why they may have opted to not include it for pricing reasons. I wouldn't be too concerned with this though if you are used to plugging in your device, and the Pixel 4a has great battery life and comes packed with a 3,140 milliamp hour battery and quick charging ability, and they also include an 18-watt fast charger in the box with your purchase. That's a way to take care of something that's missing from the phone, in my opinion. Another thing that's missing: there is no water resistance rating for the 4a. It is what it is with this one here, folks. If you drop the Pixel 4a in the toilet, it's probably toast. Good news is that the replacement is only 350 bucks, I guess. Other than those three missing things, for me the 4a is still a recommended buy if you're on a budget. The polycarbonate unibody footprint, Corning Gorilla Glass 3 display, 6 gigabytes of RAM, powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730G CPU and an Adreno 618 GPU. It's a heck of a deal if I do say so myself. Not to be forgotten or overlooked in any way, shape, or form, you also get that 128 gigabytes of storage at the starting price. About 113 gigabytes of that is usable space to you. The stereo speakers are decent and do a good job at matching the Pixel 4 XL in sound quality. You also get a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is something of a rarity these days. Onto the operating system, I think Android 10 and this device is perfectly poised to steal away some iPhone users, especially the ones on a budget. The way Android 10 works makes it easier for iOS users to adapt to the Android platform, making the Pixel 4a a device I would be concerned with if I was an Apple executive. The Pixel 4a offers all of what Google offers in a compact, beautifully designed smartphone that will get the job done at an insane price point. There's no other options, colors, or storage variants available to confuse the purchasing process either. Just one very slick design, adaptable color because everybody can use black, and a respectable storage option. To me, the 4a offers a lot for not a lot in cost. I've said that over and over in this video. I'm really excited to see what Google does with the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 5 to come in the near future. Before I close, I must disclose Google was kind enough to send this device out to me early for testing and review. It gave me the ability to take a deep dive into this device and gave me enough time to put together a really well thought out review in hopes to help you make a purchase decision. So hashtag gift from Google right here in this video, because without them, this video would not have been possible. channel. If you're interested in pricing and availability, it will be linked in the description. That is not my affiliate link. It's just a direct link to Google's site. I'm not affiliated with Google in any way, shape, or form other than I make YouTube videos, so I guess I am affiliated with them. And another thing I'd like to disclose is that I use the Google Pixel 4a as my secondary device, but you can obviously see that I have an Apple Watch on because I am driven by iOS. I feel like I fully disclosed everything to you as a consumer of this content. Anyways, that about does it for me in this one. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I'm Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.